Greetings. If you've stumbled upon this video, it is time for another Starbase summary where we talk about footage that's coming out of Starbase for the last couple days. My name's John. In this video, apparently AC/DC making an appearance. The odd structures you see on the Pad B chopsticks here are load test bags. We talked a little bit about it in the other video, but they've been continuing to test these things for quite a few days here. They pump tons and tons of water into those huge bags. Water is easy to move around as opposed to, like, steel barbells or something like that, right? And they lift the chopsticks up and down and move them around to make sure that they can carry the load, potentially more than a ship would be, a ship or a booster would be, right? It's like a test longer than, or I guess to a higher mass than the test or the ship itself would be, booster itself would be. But we saw them do a test all the way up to the top of the tower there, and then they installed some extenders. We actually saw a little bit of trouble where the wind was blowing those things around and getting the lines sort of twisted up. But here they've increased, the extenders, they've increased the lever arm? I don't really think that would be the lever arm. I wonder what the purpose of that is, to have those longer cables on it. This guy's not going to know. It just says Seagull. I think we can ask the Seagull what's going on. Ah, yes, more sparks as the high bay disassembly continues. Places looking seriously like Swiss cheese. It's more like 8-bit Swiss cheese because it's all squares instead of round holes. But more gratuitous slow motion spark action. If you saw our slow motion spark vibe tunes video, we did get that out finally. We found a hole in the schedule where we could put it on the channel here. And a couple people have watched that, apparently. So if you were jonesing for that to come out, it is here a couple of videos back. Just like 20 minutes of chill ambient vibe music and slow motion sparks like these. It really is art. Look at that. It's just sparks flying, falling, probably the right terminology there. In any event, the high bay is almost all the way down. We had a camera locked out, which means we don't have the operators log into it and PTZ it around, like move it. That has been locked out the entire time, trying to catch the time lapse of the high bay coming down. But here comes another common dome section rolling in the background there. And, of course, sparks, like sticking out the side there. This one looks like it's rolling into Mega Bay 1 right now. I see some counterweights there for the crane on the right-hand side as well. And that little construction fence, temporary movable construction fence in the foreground. Good times. Here we are back out to Pad B. Those long extensions, picking up the water test bags again. I wonder if is that a wind thing? Like, are they more or less susceptible to wind with the long? Give me some guesses down in the comments as to what they gain from a physics mechanical perspective by adding those long extensions to it. If there's like a pendulum effect or something, would be my first guess. But y'all let me know what you think down below. Looks like we've strapped a GoPro to the front of the vehicle here, and we're going to drive all the way from the production site. Oh, hey, look at that. Cargo resupply mission. I'm not sure why this is labeled cargo Oh. So we had Dan and Jerry out there fixing some antennas on one of our towers, our little teeny tiny tower there. But looks like Jack was taking some water to the guys working out there on the little 35-foot lift. That tower is about 15 feet tall, but it is way easier and safer to work on those antennas on the top of the tower if we rent that lift, from, quite frankly, from Home Depot for a day. Tow it out there, dodging potholes on Highway 4. And then run up the side of the tower. What did we do? We installed one new radio, created sort of sectors For Starbase, we have like a prodward sector with an antenna that's sort of covering the production side, our river property, the viewing side of things. And then we have a launchward sector that covers the trailer, the dune area, the South Beach area that we have, everything along Highway 4 there, sort of where trailer is now. But that's what they were doing back at the tower, and Jack's going to drive all the way by the production site. Didn't go all the way around the roundabout, but it's going to go all the way once again to the end of the road. And that sand gets everywhere. Not going to lie. Oh, actually onto the beach. It looks like it was going straight into the water. Here we've got a stop over at Masseys. We're going to turn in real quick and drive up the road. And we're going to, let's see here, do a little bit of a turn. There's a little bit of hill there as well. And come up to the test tank structure all the way over here at Masseys. There's the moat. We usually don't go past the moat there. That's like the only thing on the other side of the little land bridge is the Masseys gate. It gets a little crowded up there, but there's room to turn around back this way. So here, up close at Masseys, there's B-18.1 test tank that was lifted in with the big yellow crane there on the side. You can see those load jigs, load arms, load beam, structure, poles, whatever you want to call them, the blue things, going into the holes on the side of the tank, exerting forces onto the structures on the inside as opposed to just pushing on the outside of the tank. But we've been watching this happen for a while. Again, this is the thing that used to be labeled TT-17, Test Tank 17, and then we got updates on that was actually seemingly part of Booster 18.1, or a test article for Booster 18.1, something along those lines, right? Got a little bit of a wide shot. You can see the skeleton of the high bay there as vehicles flash in front of you. Two towers way in the distance. That white building in the middle there, you see the low white building between the two? That used to be the payload processing building, the Starlink building. That was a cool transition, by the way. Truck drives by and then it goes to the next camera. Production site storage yard. Some of those arms there in the middle. Yep, we're going to zoom in on them. We saw those come through. It'll be interesting to see where those clamp to a structure somewhere. Pad B, and I think gantry, parts of the gantry was the guess that I saw scrolling through chat. It really is interesting to hang out in Starbase Live and just see everybody talking, like coming up with their ideas, seeing what's going on. People just come in and like talk about their day or talk about other missions. It's like a community chat room that happens 24/7 over there on Starbase Live. Really cool that that is a place where space nerds can hang out. Look at the skeleton of the high bay. Oh my gosh. Yes. And the rocket garden. The awesome rockets on the left-hand side there. Got a tank on the right-hand side. That's the top of a booster, looks like. And then the skeleton of the high bay. There's a lifter. Look at that. There's a stand there on the right-hand side. That looks like, is that the 4-point lifter maybe? That looks like a static fire stand. The crab stand. Here is what we think is Pad B's ship QD arm, the arm halfway up the tower that swings in and out of the way, swings towards the ship to connect to it and pump it full of propellants, and then swings away from the ship to get out of the way of the fire when the rocket takes off. There's a quick shot of the production site, I guess you could say main gate. Going to be interesting to see what Giga Bay does to that. There's the bags on those long cable extensions hanging from the launch site. Waterloo test beds. There are now 14 total, 7 for each arm. You know, last time they were really clearly labeled. They had big numbers on the side that said how much that bag was supposed to weigh, how much mass it was supposed to have. And I don't know that I've seen that on these bags yet. I'll have to ask Jack and the photographers out there, Caesar and the folks catching stuff in the field, to see if they've caught any numbers. That was just a quick delivery over there. And here we go again. All right. Are we going to fill these up with water? They're a little bit less deflated, a little bit less saggy. They do look like they're filling up with water. Is that 1, 2, 3, 4 in the bottom cluster? Yeah, you see how the lines were getting twisted there? Scroll back real quick. The little lines that they used to fill the water were getting twisted up, it looked like. Yeah, there. See? That can't be good. They're probably going to have to abort that. Yep, look, they're emptying. So the way those were getting twisted up, I'm surprised there were no taglines or something on them to keep them from twisting up. But in any event, that is departing, that is going from right to left past our river property, which means it is leaving Starbase, is going to Masseys. I mean, Masseys is in that direction, or is it just leaving for the long haul? But some crane parts headed out of town. Oh, that must be at Highway. Yeah, there was a chain that closes the bollard at Highway. I was like, wait a second, it's changed all of a sudden. That can't be out there by river. We don't have a Starbase Live camera that close. What is this? Oh, he's like checking the height of the load. That makes perfect sense. He's even got a little special bag that he puts the load height test stick in. I don't know if I've ever seen that, but it makes perfect sense that that's something you should do. RVac 509, let me make sure I don't miss that. Moving into Mega Bay 2. There in the background, what does that mean for the ship? The big question is, which way is Ship 35 going to go when it comes back out of there? Is it going to head to Masseys? Does it need to do another static fire? Or is it going to head straight to the launch site? Preparing for the next flight. Now, currently, I was maybe a couple days away. We'll see what happens when we see what direction that ship rolls. Appreciate y'all hanging out with me. My name is John. Thanks for everybody in the field for catching the footage, and we will see you nerds later.